Hey guys, welcome back to Doin It DIY. If you're new here, my name's Allison. Welcome to the Doin It DIY family. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so that we can DIY together. Today I have 3 easy Easter DIYs that I hope you're going to love. Everything you need to complete these projects is in the description box below. We're going to go ahead and get started with project number 1, which is this super easy cross. It could not be more simple. Everything you need is on the screen. We are going to take this cross, little wooden cutout that I got from the Dollar General, and we're just going to remove the little hanger on it and also the tag that's on the front. This is actually kind of a thick wooden cross, and I'm really excited about some of the craft items that the Dollar General has. But we're going to start by taking some brown oxide and jet black. If you are not new here and you've been around since the beginning, you know that those two used to be my favorite faux stain combination, and I'm bringing them back today. We're going to go ahead and mix those together and just color some tumbling tower blocks with them, or paint some tumbling tower blocks with them. Then we're going to add some water to that paint, and we're going to go ahead and stain our cross. We're just going to wipe it on and then take a paper towel or a rag and wipe it back off so it kind of reveals the wood grain. I love the way this one turned out. It was so easy too. I mean, the hardest part is literally painting it. And that's pretty much it. And that's what the cross looks like when you're done. And then I went ahead and took this super cute little He Is Love SVG that I cut out with my Cricut. I left the link to that free SVG down below if you want to do this one. I'm sure that they have a PNG too if you want to print it out and do the hand lettering. And we're just going to attach that right across the middle of our cross. I love the way that it looks. And then we're just going to take those tumbling tower blocks and we are going to make, I'm trying to think what I was saying. We're going to glue 3 of them together, and we're going to do that 3 times. So we want a base that has 9 blocks. And I'm trying to clean the hot glue off because I always struggle with that with these tumbling tower blocks. So once that's dry, we're just going to go ahead and run a bead of hot glue on the bottom of our cross and just attach that directly in the middle of those tumbling tower blocks that we're using for the base. And this does set up by itself. I didn't have any problems with it falling or anything like that, but I did go ahead and take another tumbling tower block and just attach it to the back to give it a little bit more stability so it did not want to just easily fall over. I will say this, I've knocked this thing down a couple different times since I made this, and it has not come off. There's absolutely no pulling apart of the glue. It's done really well, so just an FYI. And that is literally it. This is completely done. This was so easy. I love it. It's perfect for Easter. I can't wait to get it added to my Easter decor. I hope you guys like it too. And for our project number 2, we have this super cute foam board Easter bunny planter. I love this. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. I just took this wooden Easter bunny cutout from the Family Dollar and traced it onto a piece of foam board and used my X-Acto knife to cut those out. And I did 3 of them, but I only ended up using 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and take those bunny cutouts and paint them white. I'm using Apple Barrel white paint. Super easy, and they're already white, but I want to give it a little bit of texture, and when you add the paint to it, it seems to do that. So that's why I decided to paint them. If you want to recreate this, you definitely don't have to paint them, or you can paint them another color. I just wanted to do faux shiplap or faux wooden slats because that's kind of my vibe. And so that's why I decided to do this. But you don't have to do that. You can paint them whatever color you want or not paint them at all. And then I just went ahead and took some Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant and my ruler, and I just made some lines across the bunnies like wooden slats or shiplap. Super easy. I didn't even have to use a pencil. I just went ahead and did it. And because this looks very, very stark in contrast to the white, I wanted to tone that down a little bit, so then I went ahead and took a dry brush and some more of that Apple Barrel white paint and just lightly brushed over all of those gray lines just to kind of mute it out a little bit, and also to kind of make it look a little bit worn. I like that look a little bit better than if the lines were super sharp. Super easy stuff. And now we're going to go ahead and take a piece of white poster board, again from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to take some hot glue and we are going to connect this piece of poster board to our foam board. And you'll see I'm leaving a little bit of a lip there, and then that's because we want to be able to set it up in the end and we don't want, you know, it to rock back and forth. So you're just going to put a little bead of hot glue around the foam board and then just hold the poster board in place. And that's what it should look like once you've done that. And then I went ahead and reinforced that piece of poster board with some hot glue on the inside and the outside. And you might want to go ahead once you've done this and put a finger protector on and wipe the glue down so it doesn't have a chance to melt the glue that's already been there. Mine came loose a little bit when I did that the first time, so just a little hint. And then we're going to go ahead and take the other half of that bunny foam board and attach another bead of hot glue, and then we're just going to set it directly on top of that poster board just so that they match up as close as you can get them. Oh, there we go. And you'll see there's a little bit of lip all the way around. And then I'm just going to do the exact same thing with that. I'm going to reinforce the poster board by running a bead of hot glue. And I initially had tried to put nautical rope on it, but then it started to rock. So I needed to cover that up, and I wanted to cover up the hot glue, so I just took another piece of that poster board and covered that, the original hot glue line up, and it did a really good job of that. You can't really see that at all now. This just makes it look a little bit more clean. Initially, it was to cover up the pieces of the rope that I had to pull off. I didn't want to have to start this project all over, so I just pulled the rope off. And that's what we have at this point. And then you're just going to take a piece of floral foam, and you can see the little planter sets up perfectly. It doesn't rock, it doesn't do any of that. It sets up perfectly straight. You're just going to take a piece of floral foam and your favorite flowers or greenery and just completely fill that floral foam up. And I did some that were taller, some that were shorter, some that went over the sides because the bunny ears are kind of tall. So you want to make sure that you can see the flowers that you put in there. So drape some over the sides. You can use whatever flowers that you like. And I don't remember what the name of these are, but I really love them. And I did end up putting a little garbage bag from like Walmart in the bottom to give it a little bit more height so it set up a little further. Of course, you can use more floral foam if you want. That's just the only piece that I had. So I needed to give it a little more height, and that's why I did that. But I'm going to be quiet and let you watch me put the flowers in. And that's it, guys. I love the way that this turned out. You would never know that it was just two pieces of floral foam, not floral foam, foam board, and some poster board if you didn't know. And now for project number 3. I love this. It's just an amazing grace sign made with a placemat that I got from the Dollar General. And I found this glue right here from the Dollar Tree that works perfectly to attach a placemat to a piece of foam board, which is what I did. And then I have 4 paint sticks. These are the 5-gallon paint sticks. These are the ones from Walmart. You can get them from Lowe's and Home Depot as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and measure those around my placemat. And as you can see, I left an edge all the way around my placemat so that I could connect the paint sticks directly to the foam board and not to the placemat by itself. You want them to have something to hold on to. So we're just going to measure and mark where we need to cut the paint sticks. And I always cut a little bit messed up here, and that's perfectly okay. You know, I use a little hacksaw that you're going to see in just a second, so it's a little bit hard to get it absolutely perfect. if I weren't afraid of power tools, I'm pretty sure it would be very close to perfect, but it never is. So that's okay. It doesn't have to be. So you just use a little hacksaw, handsaw, or you can use some power tools and cut those down. Then we're going to go ahead and take some Waverly chalk paint again in the color Elephant and a little bit of water, and we're going to do a DIY faux gray stain. And we're just going to mix those together until you get the consistency that you want, and you're going to paint all of the sides and the front and the back of each of the paint sticks with this faux stain. If you've been around for a while, you know that I love using paint and water as faux stain. It dries quickly, it works perfectly, you can tweak it to whatever color you want it to be. It's so much cheaper than regular stain. It's just my preferred method. Once we have that on there, I'm just going to wipe it down with a paper towel and let it dry. And then this is what we have, and we're just going to go ahead and take some hot glue and attach those pieces of paint sticks to our foam board that has our placemat on it. And once we have all those paint sticks attached, you're just going to go ahead and take your X-Acto knife and something to protect your work surface and trim all of those excess pieces of foam board away from your paint sticks. This part's super easy, and your paint sticks are kind of used as a guide, so it helps to give you a straight line, or as straight as you can be anyway. I always end up being completely jagged, but that's just me. I cannot cut a straight line. If someone told me they'd give me $1 million if I could cut a straight line, I would still be poor. I couldn't do it. But that's okay. There are things I'm good at. Straight lines are just not one of them. All right, and once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and take some nautical rope and some hot glue, and we are going to attach a hanger to the back of our sign. And I did end up taking some really thick, strong ribbon and covering over the hot glue just to give it a little bit more stability so it wasn't going to pull up or anything like that. Although I did use a ton of hot glue. And I also, once I stuck the rope down, I went over it with hot glue as well. So. And then I thought it needed a little bit of a bow, so I'm going to go ahead and do one of those same bows again. If you watched my 2 videos ago, you saw and I'll link it up above here, I did a bow that I didn't show you because I linked a video underneath. The lady explained it so well and so much better than I ever could. So you can watch me do it, but if you want to hear how it's done, you can go over and watch her video. She's really, really good at bows. And then because I couldn't find any chenille stem or pipe cleaner that wasn't this bright pink color, bright pink purple, I went ahead and took some nautical rope and wrapped around the middle. I really love the way that the finished product came out, and I thought it was really cute. I'm going to go ahead and let you watch the rest of it. I hope you liked this project. And then we're just going to take some hot glue and I put my little bow right in the corner, and that is it, guys. I hope you love these projects. I hope they gave you some inspiration for some Easter decor that you can do on your own. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you will. Until next time, you guys, bye-bye.